Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Let's see. Are we live? Seems like it. I'm just gonna post the link to this thing in my Discord. Like that. Yeah, seems to work. And I minimize this and I go open Sublime. Okay. So today I am working on doing some dialogue system things and like some inventory stuff. And I'm already in the middle of it, I see. I can show what I'm doing. Bringing up some chats over here on my laptop. Oh. Do I hide that? Like that. Okay, so I'm doing some work on some dialogue system things, also connected to some inventory things. So I have in my dialogue system, I have, I want you to be able to do checks like, do you have something in your inventory? Do you not have it? And also so you can give things from your inventory to whoever is, you know, who you're talking to. So you can do all kinds of funny things. So we'll see how that goes. So I already started on some stuff here. There's some buttons here I can click in on these nodes. If you click this, these are for doing a progress requirement check, which is like global progress flags. And the I is for checking if you have an item or not. So you can say, do you have butter or not? And in that case, this one will be visible or not, depending on this one. Let's see. Hello. Hello, Z64. So that's sort of what I'm working on. So I have, let's see here, dialogue choice. So each of these choices have like, they have some text here, and then they have the progress check thing, which is this one, and then we have if you have an item or not, you know. So I have a new system for inventory also, so I can show that. So we have this, these are my sample things that I just put in the air here. So I can take this up, and you see down in the left corner here, you have like an inventory, and I can cycle through them. It doesn't do much yet, it's just mostly graphical. It keeps a list somewhere, because in the past I used to have so that the item you were carrying was kind of hovering above your head, and while that was cute, it was sort of, from a game design point of view, quite hard to do anything with. And you could also like put down items in weird places, and yeah, it got all kinds of messy. But so now I want a more classical inventory, and I'm thinking like to make it a bit more like an adventure game, I guess, or something, you know, where you can pick up items. I'm not gonna have so you can combine them and, you know, it's more about picking up items and going somewhere and using it with the correct thing and stuff. Hello, Jakob. I am doing inventory. I'm inventing. Is that what it's called when you're doing, you know, inventing an inventory system? Then I'm inventing. So it's a bit all over the place right now. So I'm just trying to hook these different things up, sort of. So I need to check if I have. So this, what I want to do first is, because currently if you go and talk to the squirrel, blah blah blah, it says lots of things, but eventually you get to this one, and here I have to change this font because this almost looks like a B. But here we have like a few different options, and if you, there's like essentially a fetch quest with 3 items. So if you have one of them, then it should not display this one. It should instead display like, oh, here, have this one. So depending on what you have in your inventory, it should display different things here. And that sort of requires some kind of things down here, some kind of checks and stuff. So I've already started a bit on that, like I said. So I commented out some code there just so I could compile. So I have, this is when it's trying to draw the dialogue stuff. Then it wants to check. Okay, this is actually the code for checking how many lines I should. This is for making the background size of this thing. But I need to check there also if I have the correct items or not. Might have to move this code around a bit. We'll see. Okay. So if you do not need to have the item, not means here that only show this if you do not have the item. Then the item to check cannot be at any slot in your inventory. So we can try doing like this. In Odin you can label loops because I'm in another for loop in here, but I want to continue this one, so I do it like that. I'm probably gonna have to do that differently because it's, yeah, I have more code down here that also needs to go over all the choices again, but I'm just experimenting a bit here. See, adjusting the mic a bit. I have a new audio setup, so if there's any problems, it's too loud or anything, just let me know. I'm trying to have it like sort of nicer quality. Okay. So in this case, you must have it. So this is the other case that it requires you to have the item. And then it must go through all of them. Found item is false. Found item is true. Is not found item. Then continue. So this is just so if I need to have the item but I don't have it, then it will also continue. Okay. Let's see here. Did I actually hook up all the dialogue correctly already? Wait, does this even save? If I do this, reset, go back into dialogues. I do not have the butter. I'm just checking that my serialization is actually implemented. Yes, it is. ADCD's state survived a full reset. So I got to talk to this guy, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Go in here. Get the butter. There was a, yeah, there's another bug there. butter, where is it? Okay, so he's still saying that. But this is just the thing that calculates how many lines to make the background the correct height. Okay. Good that the audio is okay. I have today I'm using a Pippi Longstrump mug, also known in Germany as Pippi Langstrumpf. I guess for some reason that one is very famous in Germany. How to do this best? I'm just gonna do this. I'm gonna yeet all this out to a little function here. Passes item check, we'll call it. Okay, so C is a dialog choice. Is that all we need? Maybe. Let's see here. C.check item. So if this one return up, so this one is just going to return a bool if this for this choice you're allowed to see it. Yeah. So if there is no check item at all, then we return true. If C.item to check is none, because that enum has a none choice. Then we can do like that. Then we can go over all the stuff in the inventory. And we can say inventory match false. Inventory match true. If C does not have item. Okay, and here we can just return actually, I think. If and then so if you're not supposed to have the item and there is okay, you know what? Those kind of like when you try to push everything together into one if statement, we're like, okay, does it not have the item and you have the item, and then and then you always mess up like there's always a bug. It's just easier to be like, okay, if we're supposed to be like this, and if not inventory match, then I return false. We return true down here. It was if inventory match return true. We can remove all these. I think this should work. If not passes item check, continue. Then I don't need this. This is sort of why when you start introducing labels like that, then it's quickly like then I want to use this code down here as well, and it's just, I can't just copy it and stuff. You know, one reason why it didn't work before was probably because my code didn't even compile, I think. I saw the error message down here. Cannot iterate over inventory of type inventory. What is an inventory? It's not even a dynamic array. It's just, you're just supposed to do this. You're just supposed to do from 0 to C. Kmem.inventory.num items. If something like that. Yeah. This is a Odin sort of for loop. So it says from 0 to whatever this thing is here. So you don't have to do all the int equals 0 less than this plus plus blah blah blah. What's it complaining about? Yeah. This is a enum, not a struct with a type thingy. Okay, let's retry this. So Zach asks in the chat, I'm liking the limited palette decision for the art, and if I think I'll stick with it. So what he's talking about is that I had another art style before, and then I sort of removed. What happened was that my palette was way too dark, I realized, and the reason my old palette was too dark was because I started with a too dark background color and then made everything to match that. So my game, I suddenly just realized, like, my whole game is very dark. So then I wanted to sort of replace the palette, and then I also started, it was actually from, there was sort of Jakub who had this idea that try a limited color palette, and I did that. And just to not get overwhelmed with colors. And I quite like it. The problem, I have a few problems with the palette currently. The first one is that I use like smooth parallaxing, so everything ends up on like half pixel boundaries. So you see like over here how it sort of, it just looks a bit messy. So I don't really like that. And one reason it looks messy is because I use dithering a lot. So you get all these funny little, like if there was more sort of, how to say, how filled in areas and less sort of this dithering, then it would maybe look better. And another thing is because I have so few colors, I have used dithering a lot, which is this, you know, dithering is this checker pattern stuff. One problem with dithering is that if you go look back at like VGA era games, they use dithering a lot. They have like a 640 by 480 resolution. And of course you have dithering earlier than that. But I think in general, if you have a very limited palette, dithering looks best if you have a slightly higher resolution, so it actually starts looking like you have extra colors. Right now, it looks like more like an art style than like, yeah, I'm not 100% sure about it. So what I've been thinking about is to keep the palette sort of like it is, but go in during a second art pass and add more colors that introduces more, like maybe for example, I add like a few extra shades of green so that I can use more so that I can use more filled in color fields rather than use dithering. And then I think this whole feeling that it becomes like a bit noisy like this, I think will get better. And it will also be easier to separate background layers. But yeah, so I'm going to try to do that when I do an art pass. So I'm quite happy with it, but I might need to add some colors, and I'm going to try to reverse the sort of to use very little dithering, because I think it gets a bit noisy, especially at a low resolution like this, because it's just big blocks of pixels moving around. Now let's see what this guy is saying. Blah, 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 blah. Butter, where is it? Oh yeah, here we see. Wait, Butter, where is it? Why is he... Okay, I'm gonna fix two things. He's supposed to send me directly to this screen, but because the dialogue is not hooked up properly, that doesn't happen. It's supposed to say this stuff here. So when you say we leave the conversation, you're supposed to be like, okay, you actually talk to the squirrel, and then next time it will come in here. Okay, so I'm currently redoing a lot of the dialogue. That's why I have all these floating so I'm gonna do like this. Need to help me fetch some ingredients for pancakes. I was playing Psychonauts 2 the other day, and I realized in Psychonauts 2 you go to a place called the Questionable Park, something like that. I don't remember exactly, but it's just when you come outside, you can go around there where your family is sort of camping with the... I don't want to do any spoilers, but anyways, you go there, and then you can go into a house where one other of the interns of the Psychonauts, say, HQ is. And there is a squirrel there, and the girl also has other animal friends, and she's making pancakes for them. And then you get some kind of... I don't remember exactly what... There was a question, but I just thought it was funny that it involved a squirrel, and it involved pancakes, and it was sort of in the forest. But it wasn't the squirrel making the pancakes. The squirrel was just fetching acorns that she used for something. It was a bit surreal. Okay, so now when you talk to it again, it will be like, it can be like, what do I need to do again? And then it will tell you this, and then you can choose one of these things. So that should work now. Blah, blah, blah. You just need to... Okay, I'm on it. On what? Yeah, now I got to a different dialogue. Now I can go... Now I can come directly here. Okay, but I don't have butter. Why does it say that I have butter? I mean, why did it... Was it one line shorter? Because my code is broken. Oh, wait, inventory... If not... Wait, yeah, it's reversed. So this one says you're not allowed to have the item. Why is there a space here? You're not allowed. You should not have the item. And then if you have an inventory match, it returns false. Otherwise, if you're allowed, you must have the item. Then if you don't have... Like, what am I doing here? This one says you should not have the item. But you have the item, therefore it failed. This one says you must have the item. You did not have the item, therefore it failed. Now it will work. Yeah, so now that happens. Now I go in here and pick this stuff up. Yeah, and now this one got shorter. But I just need to not render this one at all now. And then it's... yeah, now I just have two branches that return false. That is true. It's because it needs to get... Like, this is sort of, like... It's sort of the kind of check where you just return false until you get to the bottom where it returns true. So there's sort of a bunch of checks. Why is it this? But I could combine these two into one thing. So this is usually where I mess up. So if does not have item, because you see, I can't just do this because it's then it's not the same logic. Anyways, I'll leave it like that. It's easy to understand. And then I go down here where this is where I actually render the stuff. C is v.choices choice index. I just putting this one into a variable so I can use it multiple times. If not, passes item check. C, continue. I was like, return, false, continue, keyword. Well, that's broken. The cursor disappears here. I know why. I can't use the choice index here because I can only use an index that is like which have actually been rendered, not what's the best way to do that then? I think this variable that it uses should have the real index to the choice. But currently it I just don't like that when I initialize this. Interesting how I can. When I initialize this thing, I would need to like search for the first one that's actually in the that's actually available. I'm gonna adjust this mic again. Sorry if it makes weird noises. I'm not used to all this setup. Okay. Okay, that's annoying. I don't like having to initialize things to non-zero because then the first thing I do when I open this thing is that I must search to find the first choice that it should be on. So I think it's better if it's like which of the ones that I actually rendered, but then I can't use the index anymore. Okay. Nah, I'm just gonna do like this. I think. Yeah, I think I know how to do it now. So I do something like this. So if... Okay, I'm gonna do it. If I.cur choice is choice index. No. Okay, here actually what I should just do is this, I think. It's the hardest, most annoying problems that when one... I was just using the indices straight up for this, but now I can't. But I want to, but I can't. Where does it actually choose the choice? Okay. Current choice chosen. Okay, I think I can just do like this. So I have a choice counter, and for each one that I actually render, I add one to that. And if the choice counter is the same as current choice, then I render that. Why does this happen? Current choice chosen. Why is this even a thing? Think this should just be like this. It's like you pressed control. And then it says so here's a thing with dialogue systems that currently when I choose something, then my character displays it. I don't think that's maybe a good idea because usually you've read it and chosen it. So then you should just say it. I mean, then you already said it. When you choose it, you read it, and because I played some like games like Pentiment and stuff. So maybe I should actually just get rid of that. And you choose it, and then it goes directly to the next node in dialogue. I think that's a better idea. I'm gonna go with that for now. So then I don't need this code anymore. Because this is the code that displays it. And that's why I have all this weird current choice chosen and stuff. Because it needs to display that one as if it wasn't a choice. As if it was a normal dialogue line. Interaction dialogue. Then I can remove Wait, can't I remove? Maybe this fixes everything. All my problems fixed. Wait, what was the old code here? I'm just gonna undo some stuff. Pick this up, then redo. Oh, what was I doing here? Yeah, no. So what I should do is I should go up here. Look. Yeah, so I should do something like this. I should So then I don't need this choice chosen or anything. Then I just say that you should go to the next node, and the next node is, wait, what does this one do now again? So it says from the choice. Okay. So it knows which node you're currently on and where that one might go, but it needs to know which choice you actually wanted to use. And the choices is just the choice index. Like that. Down. Now the only trouble is we don't know which one this should be. So we might need to add back something like that. Choice. Yeah, let's just call it current choice. Like that. Now we just need to check where is current choice modified. Here it goes up and down. So yeah, this won't work since it will go outside the array here now because I don't use all the choices. So I think instead I need to have an function that counts how many choices I have. And then I want to be able to wrap around also so I can go from the top. But currently it gets stuck at the top, so I can push up arrow to go around. So we do like this, num yeah, we just do like this. Num available choices. Rock that takes the node. Returns an int. This one will go like for do something like this. If passes item check C. Rest plus equals 1. Return. Here I use the named. You can name these. So I can just, when you name them, you have to explicitly return, but you can just use them. And since everything is 0 initialized, this means that there will be an int in this scope that is returned, is named res, and it's 0 by default. So you can just plus equals 1, and then you have to type return at the end when you have these named things. So then we can just do this. If i.cur choice is 0, then it becomes i.cur. It becomes num available choices minus 1. Otherwise, we go up. Do this. And then we do the same thing here. So if we're already at the last one, then I.cur choice will be 0. Else we add 1. That should work. Might reset that. Let's see. What am I doing again? Oh yeah, okay. Maybe it works now. So far to run. Okay, doesn't work at all. It's totally broken. Fun. Passes item check. So how can I break something so much with so easily? Okay, what's going on? I talked to this guy. I have no cursor at all. That means that current choice is 0, which should be the first one. And let's just look through here and check where this is used. It's 0. Oh wait, I know why. Look, it adds to it before I check. Maybe it's good if we do it like that. Yeah, there we go. Now you can loop around, and then he's. Oh, I know why. I know why that happens. You choose something, or do I know why? You press left control. There's a mysterious break here. I think the break is there to get out of this one. Not to break out of the loop, I mean. Did that one have a ladle? No. So sometimes I cheat a bit with breaking out of things because especially like one thing I do sometimes when I remove something from an array while I'm looping the array, when I remove it, I just return. The only thing with that is if you draw something after that point, you might get 1 frame glitches, but sometimes it varies how you can. Bunch of different ways to do that. Okay, so I was doing this. Yeah, so JSMX says that it depends on the feel of your dialogue if you should display the choice you make and then or not. Like, so you choose like, oh, I want to say this. Should it immediately go to the answer of the person you said it to, or should it display your character saying it? I think it also depends a bit on how you design the UI around that. Like if it looks like you're making a choice, like my dialogue looks like it's in a speech bubble, so I think you get away with immediately going to the other entity saying something. But if it's more of a sort of menu looking thing that doesn't look like it's part of the game, then maybe it will be more nicer to show that the player is actually saying it. Okay. This one is soft locked. That's always good. Okay, so it says I should go from this choice. Then it finds a connection for that one. Oh. Yeah, in the chat also saying that someone's saying that a lot of modern games are voice acted, so then you get this loop of your character must say it, otherwise, you know, because the voice must say it as well. So I guess that makes that method slightly more common these days, like you say. It's but I think I think it was Pentiment I played recently that just immediately jumps to the reaction to what you say, but that game does not have voice acting. So also some games only have voice acting for things that other people say. I think like Disco Elysium, for example, doesn't do anything like that. It just will go to the, but I think it still will display what you said maybe as a line. I don't remember exactly how it works, but that one has like a feed that looks like Twitter or something. But now I'm wondering what the hell is going on with my thing here. Why does it? Okay, I'm. Oh, maybe I should use Remedy Debugger. I promised myself to try to use that instead. So let's try that. Programs. Okay, let's see. Okay, so here is Remedy Debugger. I'm just wondering what's going on. Or maybe, active interaction. What is it currently displaying? Is what I'm wondering. Oh, I think I know what's happening. Wait a minute. Current node is that one. Didn't... I think I know. Yeah. It's this do choices stuff. It's stuck in that mode, so it's still in this... Ugh. Okay, go to next node. This one should do... like that. I like when I take out the debugger as a threat, and then I realize what's wrong. Yeah, now everything seems to work. Okay, we go in here. Pick up some butter. Yeah, now it all works. It's a bit of a weird spacing down here. I think that's because it is being stupid. Stupid. Now we can remove this crap. Okay. So I think this is like an EM GUI thingy here, and it is adding margins based on how many choices, but it should actually use... Don't I put this somewhere? Num available choices. Available choices. So here, it should do this. Recompile, we can just look at it, shrink probably. Bloop, bloop. Like the cat shook a bit. There you go. Okay. Now I need to... I'm thinking there's two ways to do this. Either I have a dialogue option to give someone something, or I have a button to use something with someone. So I'm kind of using the current item with that person. The nice thing about doing the use button thing is that then if you ever need to use something with an object in the game that can't speak, which I'm planning to do, then it's the same kind of interaction. It's nice if it's the minimum amount of different ways to do the same thing. I guess, like in most games, you can, like in adventure games, you can... in adventure games, you can usually take an item and put it on someone, like give it to them, or you can go into dialogue and say, here's your item. So I guess that's the best way to do it. But then sometimes people will always do the give item through dialogue, and then they don't realize that they can use items. Like they don't learn to use items through interacting with NPCs. They only learn to use items when they need to use items with something. And if you don't do that often, then it might... Like this is supposed to be a short little game, so... JSMX well says that they started using Odin after seeing my videos. Didn't give it a serious go before that. That's great to hear. It is a nice language, and I just made a video about why I think it's good for game development and stuff. Especially for people who come from C or slightly C style C++ or something. Like if you don't like more than C++, but you're very annoyed with all the... I think C and C++ can be a bit boilerplate there. I find that I'm sort of writing mostly the same code in Odin, but it's way more compact just because of all the small details that the language adds together makes it more compact. Oh, that's nice that your friend wants to play the game. I hope I can finish it like by the end of... Like, I'm a bit ambitious. So recently I've been going a bit slow to get stuff done. But I've been ambitious to sort of get it out by the beginning of next year, because it's supposed to be a short game, because I just want to make something and finish it. But I've realized also that I don't want it to be too simple. Like I don't want, if your only goal is to ship a game, then you can just have a cookie clicker and you're done. But if you want to have any kind of ambition with it, then even if you're trying to make a small thing, it usually goes a bit out of hand. Okay. So this is all good. So let's do the dialogue version first, where you can give someone items. Let's not worry about the kind of clicking the use button and stuff. And where should that item be? Now sound like the Morrowind. You were born under a certain sign, and what would that be? I'm just quoting random video games now. Okay. So, wonder if it should be up here. So what do I need to do again? Yeah, it should be here. Ah, now I've run into a problem. I can't reorder my choices. Like, I want this choice to be at the top, I think. Put me at the top. Yeah, that's that one. So, maybe I'll implement that. That's usually how it goes. So Phil Switch is asking if I made some Twitter threads that they liked, and asking if there's a chance that I repost those on my blog. I've been thinking, because I made my blog, and then I made one blog post, and then I never made anything more. So my blog is essentially my website for my one blog post currently. I think that's a good idea, and I've been thinking of writing something more, and probably maybe something on making, like, I like the one with the dialogue system I made, because it's the kind of thing that people maybe find a bit scary, but or maybe the camera stuff, because that's a bit more it's a simple thing that has some hidden, like, nuances to it, how to do it. Because yeah, so I did a Twitter thread on how to make your camera position, like, so you see more in the direction you're walking without that camera getting super annoying and stuff. But now we're gonna do fun editor things. So I want a handle so I can drag this one to the top or something like that. I think. Maybe drag and drop is a bit. Drag and drop is one of those things that maybe I won't do, because it's one of those things you do when you're making a tool for everybody, so it's like nice and fancy. But maybe I just have maybe I'll have just some way to move them, like some. How do I? Because with drag and drop, I would put a handle in front of here that I can drag. But maybe I will instead. It's almost like UI-wise, drag and drop is the easiest, because if you don't use drag and drop, then you have to have a number field, like, okay, move this one to position 0, like this one, boop, up here. You know what I can also do? I can do like this. Yeah, I could move this in the JSON file. This one to the top. The problem is then the connection won't move, because it's. Maybe I'll do that for now. I'm gonna have a move. What's it called? Put me at the top. Do. Yeah, and you see now all these connections are wrong. This one needs to go here. This one needs to go here. And this one is. Here's the butter. And this one has an item check that you have butter. This is funny. You see in this menu here, everything looks a bit easy to see in this menu. All the text is a bit like raggedy and weird compared to other things. This is because in this EM GUI, like there's several ways to do like overlays so that it rendered later. Since I'm using Rayleigh, I don't have super good control over like the how when it renders stuff, and it's a bit of a pain for me to queue it to later. So what I did was I go into a mode where I draw it to a full screen render texture, and then I draw that one on top at the end. And I've been trying to make it so it's the correct resolution and everything, but it still looks like it's upscaled or downscaled or something. But it's one of those things, like I can see what it says, and the moment I choose something, it looks correct, but when it's in here, it looks wrong. I just haven't fixed it. What will happen now? I took the butter before. Yeah, it gets a bit weird. Here's the butter. Okay. Then you're supposed to have a new node. Getting all kinds of fancy here. You must have a new node that removes an item from your inventory. So this one needs to go to a new node. Node. So I don't have that many nodes. I have like 6 of them. Dialog node variant. Take item. Like that. Now there will be some compile errors because it needs to I need to implement what happens in some different switches when I add this new node type. Put it at the bottom here. This is the editor part of it. So then I like putting a little label so I see what it is. Take item. And then we need an enum dropdown that says item, and it's actually call this one. You can do like this new val. Like that. And then it's the in and out slots. Maybe I should. This code I tend to duplicate a lot because I have it like here. Yeah. Let's see about that because it's many nodes just have an in and an out from them. Then we need to implement the serializer. And then we need to implement, this is a destructor for the nodes in case they have like, some have text in them. So it's actually freeing some memory. And then we need to go here. This is what the node does. So this is essentially my interpreter. If you see here, like up here is this very big one. This is the, wait, what am I doing? What am I doing? Yeah, this is the current node. And here it switches on. Where is it? Yeah, here it switches on the node type. So these things do different things depending on, like this is This one just defines a variable called dn, sets it to true and never uses it. That's great. So many of these just go to the next node. Like this is the start node. The only purpose of the start node is that it finds it and starts a dialog there, and then it immediately goes to the next node. So my new node, the dialog node, take item, will go to the next node, but before that, it will do like this. It will do for I in gmem.invent. No, that's not how you do it. In index in from 0 to gmem.inventory.num item. For some reason I have a maximum of 9 items. I think that was from when I was supposed to have a grid. Now they sort of appear at the bottom. So I could just have a dynamic array. Maybe we'll see if I change it. Oh yeah, so there was a comment about the Twitter threads, that the camera thread, someone Philswitch tried to share the URL to the camera thread, but for people who don't have Twitter, they can't look at it because Twitter doesn't allow you to look too much at Twitter anymore if you don't have an account. So that it's a good reason to make a blog post if something is popular like that. I've never had any tweet be that popular. That's the camera thread thing. So that's probably a sign that I should make something out of it. I also have to give some credit to like the GIF I used on the first post. That's from a guy who made a talk at GDC. I linked to the talk in the thread, but it's a really good GIF, that one from Mario, whichever Mario it is. I'm not Mario guy. I know it's not the original for NES, but other than that, I don't know. Yeah, so do like this. If v.item is not none, it'd be funny if the player had a none item in their inventory. I want to make this one into a dynamic array. If I equals v.item, then we do is it called an ordered remove? Looking in the standard library, yeah. An ordered remove of gmem.inventory in IDX. And here I will do the break. So I will remove something while iterating, but I immediately break out so I don't, because otherwise you might run into trouble. Also, I'm done. Okay. Oh yeah, that won't work either because it's not a dynamic array. Is there a nice way to... I mean, I can just copy everything in array backwards once. Screw it. I'm doing it. Haha. Now you can pick up unlimited amount of items. This one is when you pick, this is the function that picks something up. It's an entity that says I'm a pickup, and then it picks it up and then it destroys the entity. Oh, it's okay. I'm doing two things at the same time. Now it's still complaining about my dialogue node. Dialogue node variant. I take item. This is the size of it. I think it should be maybe this size. Then it's the position of the take item. Position of the out node. I don't believe that. This one must be removed. Otherwise, it's gonna do funny things. Or IEDX in items. We can do that. If so, here we remove it. If the where's this code? Oh yeah, this is the code for changing which is what is selected in the inventory. Like that, and it's gonna complain about So this is the number of inventory items. For I in inv dot items switch I. Changing it to a for each loops kinda. This is, if this one is selected, this is just an index and comparing it to the index of the thing. And then we need to loop here over all the for I in gmem. Then we need to, when we destroy shut down game, here we need to be like delete gmem.inventory.items because it's dynamic array. Go back here. Okay, we pick this up. It then appear there. Go here. Here's the butter. Here's the butter. Here's the butter. Here's the butter. Good. Then we go back to the dialogue. Here's a funny thing. So, because I have so few node types, I haven't added a menu to spawn nodes. I just have I'm sort of doing this on my own, so I just have a different hotkeys on the keyboard. So I'm just using more and more keys. There's 6 node types currently. So there's like, you press space, it spawns a normal node. You press enter, it spawns the start node. Backspace, it spawns the progress check node. P, it spawns the set progress. And then I think E spawns the send event node. And if something's not broken, why fix it? Nah, it's gonna get out of hand soon. I think it's almost there now. But it's quite funny. Here's my it's like funny. Because I was like, oh, I need to make a context. I have never made a context menu in this game. for the editor. So I was like, that's annoying. But I could probably have like you press space and then a menu appears where your mouse is, and then you just choose a node type and then you're done. But this is the item. No, I will use I. That's for giving the player item. So I use G now. Wait, that's give. Take T. Ah, perfect. It's not used. Brilliant code. Take item. Also, almost all these are exactly the same. I could make a function that new node index. Yeah, none of the. Yeah. Dun 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 dun. Something like this, maybe. And node. T dot nodes. What's T? That is a dialog tree. Is anything else in here? M. That's the dialog state editor state. Like that, maybe. E. Oh, wait. What does add node do? Okay, add this one. There's two add node now. This one just takes. When is this used? Is it just used here? Because then I can just. Yeah, almost all of these. Always clear the selection and set the selection and do all kinds of things. Stupid. New node dot variant equals t, something like that. Then we can also take the editor state. We can take this stuff. Just do all of this. All of it. We can still return the. We're gonna regret this soon. Why is this in such a weird order? More like I want to add a node of this type at this position. And here is some extra state you need to modify. Okay. So now it should be like dialog node variant normal at mouse world position, and here's the tree, and here's the state you need, and now we'll remove all this. I don't think I'm messing anything up. But all of these are zero initialized, so it's like I don't see any. And this one is not even used. Just do this. Plop. Nice. And then we check down here. Here's an add node thingy-ma-do. New node index is... Okay. This is supposed to be a variant normal. At this position, here's the tree. Here's the editor state. You don't need to clear. You don't need to do that. Ah. Yeah. Now I regret everything. Because this one records undo and the other one also records undo. Well, there's your solution. What's this? What have I done? Okay. So. Now that one does that. And here we have add node. This one also wants just like this. Wait. Mouse WP. Yes. Selection. That. Done. One more. New node index. This is, by the way, my funny way to do a set in Odin. You know, it's... You have... dialog state. You see this thing? Selection is a maps an int to an empty struct. So that's why it looks so funny, because it just sets... Essentially, it has a key bound to a 0 memory struct, like it's just an empty struct that doesn't take anything at all. I could define a map on my own map type. I've just been lazy to not do it. So that's why how it adds something to a map. Yeah, we'll quite easily be able to just add a few functions to make it all look pretty. Okay. Ah. Can't do this. So, reused is false. Here it says reused true. And then it does. If not reused, then it appends. The index is an int. Just a new node index. That one like that. Here we say the length of t.node. Like that. Ah. And here it can just return that one. It should, otherwise there will be bugs. Okay. Still seems to work. And now I can spawn the take item node, which is what I wanted to do. So we want to take the butter. That was a little detour of refactoring code. Here's the butter. Ah, and I lost the butter. Amazing. Of course, it didn't do anything because now I just lost the item, and so it needs to also either I'm gonna add so that NPCs have a list of things they have. So like this NPC has these things that I've given to it. Or I had set the global state flag that's like, okay, you now have now the butter flag is set in the global state flag. But we'll see. Oh, I can get more butter. think that's because I went to the editor. Yeah, so I can go to the editor. It doesn't, yeah, I don't have a proper, when you come out of the editor, the world is in a half reset state. It's a bit wonky. Can I get up here? Oh, this is gonna be a problem. Teleport. Need to. This stone I made in 5 seconds is just supposed to be a big blocker over here. Okay. Hello, stone. Hello. Should fix this bug sometime that I get stuck in the wrong animation frame. Okay. I might end the stream for now. I have some other things I need to do, but maybe I'll continue with this later today. So what I'll do later is somehow add so something happens in the world. There's a reaction to you giving it. Either maybe I'll add an inventory to all the NPCs or something, like things they have. We'll see. So yeah, thanks for watching. If you if there's anything you want me to make a video about, you can always ask. You can come into the Discord and ask or something. But yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you. Bye-bye. The end.